Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to show you some of the most common mistakes that I see on Facebook and even on YouTube sometimes. And I'm not saying that I'm better at doing makeup than everyone else, but I just wanted to share this with you guys and I really hope you learned something from it. So on one side of the face, I'm going to be doing the bad side, I guess, the mistakes that everyone's make, and then on the other side I'm going to be showing you the correct way. So I'm starting off with foundation first, and I've actually seen this a lot, that people use a different color on their face than their neck and chest, and that just does not look cute. I mean, if you have a tan on, please use the same color as your tan, or if you're darker, don't use a lighter color on your face and then your neck and chest is the same color. And also, while applying the foundation, do not drag the brush like you're painting a wall. You can either dab it on with a sponge or stipple it on or something like that. As for the concealer, always use a lighter shade than your foundation. Don't go 10 shades lighter, but maybe 2 or 3 shades lighter. Also, the skin under your eyes is very delicate, so instead of dragging the skin under your eyes with the brush, try to stipple on the product, and this will prevent any future wrinkles. As you can see, I'm just applying a concealer that is 2 or 3 shades lighter than my skin tone, and I'm stippling it on with the brush. I'm not doing any streaks or dragging it, and whatever is left on the brush, I'm applying it on my center of the forehead, on my nose bridge, and on the chin. Now I'm taking my translucent powder, and this is exactly what you don't do. You don't just pack on the translucent powder everywhere on your face, because this will really make your makeup look cakey. Instead, what I do is I take a densely packed brush and I only apply the setting powder with this brush on my T-zone areas where I get the most oily, and then I take a fluffy brush and I apply it to the rest of my face for a very light application. So even if you are using a powder, it will not make your makeup look cakey and it will last throughout the day. As for the eyebrows, oh my god, you will not believe the amount of times I have seen these eyebrows, what I call block eyebrows, because they literally look like a block on your face. So if you are doing this, please stop. I can understand if you're a beginner and you don't know how to do brows, but I'm telling you, don't do this. So instead of going really harsh with the eyebrow pencil, try to make really light and feathery strokes, and for that you will need a really sharpened eyebrow pencil. So make sure it's sharpened and you will get those really light feathery strokes that actually looks like real hair. So first you can outline your eyebrows and then fill them in using these light feathery strokes. And when it comes to filling out the inner corners of the eyebrows, use an upward stroke motion, because that's how the hair grows in that particular section. And then using the spoolie on the other end, try to blend out any harsh lines. Also blend out the inner corners of the eyebrow. This will create that gradient light effect in the eyebrows that every Instagram girl goes for. I literally seen this mistake just a few days ago on my Facebook page, where someone, I guess, tried to clean up the eyebrows with some concealer and they didn't blend it out, and you can literally see it in the picture. I don't know how people go out like that, but I definitely wouldn't. So instead, what you do is take your concealer and clean up under your eyebrows, and on the top clean it up with your foundation, because it just looks really weird when you have a lighter color right on top of your eyebrows and it's very noticeable. So I clean it up with my foundation instead and really blend out those cleanup lines. In the end, I take my concealer brush and whatever's left on it, I blur out the inner corner of my eyebrows to give that really gradient ombre effect. Now you can see the real difference between the block eyebrows and the real ombre eyebrows. Moving on to the eye makeup, this is actually what I used to do when I was back in the school days. I literally took like one funky-ish color and I would just use one color and apply it on my lids without blending it out. Looking back now, it's actually pretty embarrassing, but no one actually told me that this does not look good. I mean, I had to figure it out all by myself. So these are the colors that you would normally use if you were to apply some eyeshadow on your eyelids. And the correct way of doing it is first actually priming your eyelids, cancelling out any kind of veins or any redness on your eyelids. And then I remembered I forgot to set my eyebrows, so please don't make that mistake. So then I went ahead and applied a gold eyeshadow on my lids and blended it out with my bronzer and some crease eyeshadow that you guys always see me doing this on other makeup tutorials, so I'm not going to go in detail, and I did the same on my bottom lash line. Also, I always apply the inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight, which is so important to me because you guys know how obsessed I am with highlighting. Okay, if you guys don't know how to do a proper winged eyeliner, you can actually do it using a scotch tape and get a really sharp wing. But if you don't know how to do it, please don't make it look like you got a black eye or something. So if you don't want to use the scotch tape method and you just want to go in, then first of all, line your upper lash line and then draw a bottom winged shape, I guess, and connect those two lines together. I hope this makes sense. I mean, you can always watch those detailed tutorials on YouTube on how to create the perfect winged eyeliner. And if you make any mistakes, just let the eyeliner dry out and then clean it up with a Q-tip. For a daytime look, I usually prefer to use a nude eyeliner on my waterline, but if you are using a black eyeliner on your waterline, then make sure you don't go overboard with it, or you can blend it out to create a smoky look. And then using the same crease shade, I use it right under my lower lash line to create the bigger eye effect. As for the mascara, if you don't want to get any clumpy lashes and mascara on your eyelids, then this is exactly what you don't do. Don't just apply the mascara straight away. Instead, first curl your lashes to really open up your eyes, and then with the mascara wand, really wiggle the product in rather than applying straight forward. Wiggle the wand a little bit. That sounds really weird. I hate the word wiggle, by the way. I always layer up with two mascaras. So first I use mascara that gives the volume to my lashes and really get the product and the roots. And then using a skinny brush like the L'Oreal's telescopic mascara, I use it to lengthen my eyelashes. So layering is a really good idea, and this really separates your lashes and prevents the clumping. And then I use the same lengthening skinny brush mascara on my lower lashes. I see a lot of contouring mistakes even on YouTube, and one of them is actually using a shimmery bronzer. I mean, you can use shimmery bronzers, but unless everything else is matte, you are going to look really oily. So if you're doing this, just make sure to matte down everything else. I've also seen a lot of people using bronzer as a contour powder, which is a big no-no because bronzers have a really warm undertone, and if you want to contour, if you want to create those shadows, you need to use a cool toned contour powder. And if you're contouring your nose, make sure to blend it out properly. So the correct way of contouring is, if you want to use a bronzer, then use a matte bronzer, because think about it, if you get sun-kissed, the sun-kissed glow is not sparkly, it's matte. And also, don't just apply it on your cheeks, you can also bring it on the sides of your foreheads because that's where the sun hits as well. And then I take my makeup sponge to blend it all out. For contouring, I'm taking a cool toned powder and I'm only adding it on the places where the shadows fall naturally. And always, while blending out the contour, blend it upwards rather than downwards because this will really make your cheekbones pop. And then of course blend it all out with a sponge. I usually don't use a blush because I find it not so flattering with my skin tone, but if you use a blush, this is what you don't do. Don't pack it up on your apples of the cheeks. This will literally make you look like a clown. So use a fluffy brush and apply it very lightly. Onto highlighting, all I want to say is apply it only where it belongs. Otherwise, you're going to look really oily. I mean, if you're going to apply it everywhere, you are going to look like a disco ball. So first, what I do to get a really intense glow on my cheekbones is I dip my brush in the highlighter first and then spray it with a dewy mist from NYX, and then I apply it on my cheekbones. You can also apply it on other high points of your face, like your center of the forehead, your nose bridge, and your cupid's bow, and your chin. As for nose contouring, first of all, be aware of the kind of shape your nose is, because if you're trying to apply someone else's nose contouring techniques and your nose shape is completely different than theirs, then it's not gonna suit you. So for me, I actually like to highlight the sides of my nose, and this really slims it down for some reason. The other nose contouring techniques that usually YouTubers do doesn't work for me. Moving on to the lips, I see a lot of YouTubers doing this nowadays. They will first line their lips with a dark lip pencil, and then they'll fill out the rest of the lips with a lighter color, and they don't even blend it out. I mean, if you want an ombre kind of effect, please blend it out, because this part, literally when I see it, it makes me cringe. Also, don't go overboard with the Kylie Jenner lips. I mean, you can overline them, but just don't do it too much. So most of the times, I like to overline them very slightly, and I always match my lip liner with my lipstick. Finally, just finish up with a setting spray and you are done. So this is the difference between good makeup and makeup gone wrong. I really hope you guys learned something from this video, and let me know if you have any requests for next videos, and I will see you next time. Bye!